Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we got to talk about the Supergirl teaser that was just released. So it's not the teaser trailer, but it's teasing the teaser trailer that is coming out sometime later this week. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So we got the teaser that shows our first in motion look at Milly Alcock as Kara Zor-el, aka Supergirl. We need to break that down, but also we've got the official synopsis of Supergirl that has been supposedly released by featurefirst.net. So we're going to be talking about all of this. I'll obviously leave the link so you can go ahead and watch the teaser of the teaser trailer for Supergirl, plus also read that synopsis for yourself. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Let's talk about the teaser first. So obviously, we've been expecting for a while that Supergirl would release footage sometime soon because the film is set to be released in the summer, that being the 26th of June 2026. So that is not a long time, guys. Like, we are in December. Yes, we're still in the winter and it's before the holidays have really started and Christmas is coming. So you could imagine it's probably not going to be released on Christmas. Like, that's not normally a thing. And also, it must be said, this is within the context of what's been happening with Warner Bros. Recently. Maybe I'll touch on the takeover by Netflix or even potentially Paramount at some point later this week. But that's all in the background whilst they are releasing this Supergirl trailer. Obviously, they're trying to build hype for the next summer, for the next big DCU film that is going to be released. And it's obviously continuing on from where James Gunn left things off with Superman, because we got the introduction of Milly Alcock's Supergirl. We got a first look at her in the Superman film right at the very end, where she was paired on screen with Crypto, but also David Corenswet as Superman. And it's a great little introduction, basically teasing the type of Supergirl that we're going to be getting, the kind of chaos that she is going to be bringing, at least in the first half of Supergirl, because we know this film is going to be following the Woman of Tomorrow storyline in the comics, and in the comics, she basically is out partying under red suns in the galaxy on different planets, basically to get drunk and to kind of get away from Earth and out of her cousin's shadow. And so it's actually quite a sad note that it starts on. Like, she is kind of lost and she needs to find her purpose again, and she is out there just drinking her kind of problems away, I guess you could say. And this is really where this teaser starts, because you see this shot of Milly Alcock as Kara Zor-el. She's in just normal gear, like normal clothes, not the Supergirl outfit. However, it must be stated, in Woman of Tomorrow, she normally has the Supergirl costume underneath her normal clothes. So at one point you could potentially expect her clothes to be ripped off and the Supergirl outfit is there, even though right now it doesn't really look like she's got the outfit underneath. But yeah, so she is wearing like a black t-shirt or something. She's got this kind of brownish burnt kind of trench coat looking coat, and she's wearing like some jeans with a little rip here and there. So very casual, very unput together, like just like, okay, it's the next morning and she's clearly got drunk the night before, and those massive sunglasses are obviously the thing that stands out the most, but clearly she is doing this to hide the insane hangover that she has got, because you can just presume she is under a red sun right now. She has not got any powers because she is not flying away in the scene. In fact, she is sitting on a random planet at a cosmic kind of bus stop. It's very rusty, it doesn't look great, and she is just waiting for a cosmic bus to pick her up to take her to her next destination out in space. And that is exactly what happens in the comics, so it's very exciting to see this actually come to fruition on the big screen. And in this shot you can see her hair going crazy because the wind of the space bus that is arriving is blowing as it basically descends, and you get to see a wider shot of it descending, and you can see it's got like, you know, turbo boosters or whatever you call them as it lands. And already from the teaser you can tell the style is a bit different, right? Like, the way that it's going to be shot is different because this is a different director working with a different cinematographer. It's actually the first DCU project that James Gunn is going to have less of a say. Like, it's a Craig Giuseppe film, and he's directed I, Tonya. He also directed Cruella. He's definitely got an identity that is kind of similar to James Gunn in terms of like their style and their sensibilities and their tone, but the thing is their styles actually don't align too much. Like, you will see a big difference with this, so I'm really hoping he was able to just embrace his normal style and go for it. And yes, this is a bit more expansive than his normal films, although Cruella was a big film with Disney because it's a massive character and the story is very iconic, and obviously Supergirl is iconic in her own way, but this is going to be primarily set in space, and that is a whole different challenge to kind of bring to life to the big screen and make it believable. So I feel like that is the biggest test that Supergirl and Craig has got, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what we could be getting and it being a bit different. And obviously we've heard the descriptions of Milly Alcock's Supergirl. We know she is a bit unhinged, and the comic book story goes very dark, so you can imagine it's going to start off quite chaotic, and she's going to be drunk, and it's going to be quite funny at the start, probably with her crypto and her just drinking under red suns. And then you can imagine what's going to happen is she's going to lock in like she does in the comics, and she's going to go out there and hunt Krem, who is the main villain. We also know Lobo is a big character that is being introduced here that wasn't in the comics but was apparently originally planned to be in the comics, according to Tom King and others that worked on it. So the teaser doesn't actually reveal like Supergirl's logo in terms of like what she's actually wearing, so her suit. We saw that the other day. If you didn't check out my video the other day, please be sure to go and watch that video, because we talk about Supergirl's new suit for this and the changes that they made from that Superman film when she made her on-screen debut as Supergirl. Now let's talk about the logo for Supergirl, because when it was released online along with this teaser, there was some accounts online that were just absolutely hilarious in terms of the things they were saying. They're just saying like, oh, it looks exactly the same, it's just the Superman logo, like saying the film doesn't have really any difference in terms of the logo and the promotion and what they're doing. And I just have to sit back and laugh, because I think these people don't understand. Even though Supergirl is going to be different from Superman and she's going to try hard to be her own hero, at the end of the day, the costumes they wear will be different, and we've seen it with David Corenswet's suit and also Milly Alcock's suit. However, the House of El crest is not Superman's symbol, it's their family symbol, so they will be wearing the exact same crest. It's not going to be much different. The rest of their suit is where they kind of can define their identity away from each other, but they will be wearing the same House of El crest. And obviously it was established in Superman that they both wear a kind of Kingdom Come inspired House of El logo, because that is just what they have in this version of the DC universe. And so yeah, of course, the Supergirl logo for the official film isn't going to be very different from the Superman logo. Like, yeah, they've added some outlines and it's kind of blue, pink, and a little bit of yellow, and that's it. That's the main difference. And the Supergirl font is a bit different, and it's got some kind of like spray paint features to it. So yes, that is how they are making themselves distinct from Superman, but also they're staying pretty faithful, because that is the right thing to do, guys. Like, you aren't going to change the House of El logo just because you want to market the film differently than Superman. Now, I feel like they should embrace Superman and the success that was Superman, because it actually did very well, and obviously people are a huge fan of that film. So embrace it, get those fans hyped and back into the cinema for next summer when Supergirl releases. And obviously it's going to be a different film. Like, everything that we've been told about this film is that it won't be the same as Superman. It's not going to have James Gunn's style, for number one. Number two, she is a different hero, she's got different struggles, she's not as open to the world as Superman is, and she isn't as kind. And in the comic book, she doesn't want to be Supergirl at the point that we meet her, because she feels like she's just living in the shadow of her cousin, and she's not sure how to be a hero and how to kind of continue her mission. And yes, normally in the comics, Supergirl comes first. She is sent to actually protect Superman because Kara is actually older than Kal-El, but due to her arriving late on Earth, Superman is already grown up and he is his own superhero by the time that Supergirl shows up. But she's had a whole other life, a childhood on Krypton, and that is where she is different from Superman, because Superman doesn't really remember Krypton. It's kind of just a family heritage thing. He's heard about the stories, but he hasn't actually lived out Krypton's reality. But Supergirl, in almost every version of the character in the comics, in the TV show, and in films, normally is older than Superman and lived out her life originally on Krypton before coming to Earth after Krypton was destroyed. But let's move on to the synopsis. So according to featurefirst.net, they have been given access to what has been described as a likely official but not confirmed synopsis for the film, which I find a bit weird because, yeah, it was reported originally that this was like an official synopsis, and that's the way people have been taking it online. But yeah, so take this with a grain of salt, but we're going to break it down. So DC Studios is Supergirl hits theaters this summer, starring Milly Alcock as Kara Zor-el / Supergirl. When an unexpected and ruthless enemy threatens, Kara Zor-el is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion. Together they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake, and where Kara must confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. Alcock is joined by many other actors, including Eve Ridley, David Krumholtz, and Jason Momoa, among other people. So let's break down the synopsis and talk about what it's basically referring to. So when an unexpected and ruthless enemy threatens, you can presume this is going to be Krem, and obviously Supergirl doesn't know about Krem in the comics, so I presume it's going to be the same thing in the film unless they make any changes. Or this could be Lobo, but I'm going to presume it's going to be Krem. So he is known as a merciless bounty hunter or a killer in the comics, so Supergirl is more likely than not going to be unaware of him and his threat. But while she's under Red Suns, Krem will be a major threat, and so Kara Zor-el is forced against her will to team up with an unlikely companion, that being, of course, Ruthie. So Ruthie is a character that was introduced in Women of Tomorrow in the comics, and she's been played by Eve Ridley, who is a young actor, and I'm looking forward to seeing her performance as Ruthie. So she's going to be Supergirl's companion, but as they are in the comics, they're an unlikely pairing, and so together they embark on an epic cosmic journey where revenge and justice are at stake. So obviously there's going to be a lot of things at stake, especially with how ruthless and diabolical Krem is, as you know in the comics if you read it. So Kara will confront her origins to find her own path as a hero. So I guess this is the DCU's chance to kind of look back at Krypton, potentially show us a bit of Krypton and Kara's past as a young girl on Krypton, and basically confronting her tragic past and witnessing the death of her planet. So they're gonna have to deal with that in the film for sure. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.